Hello my viewers, welcome back to the channel. If you feel tired, you know what this video is about. AEW Maximum Carnage. This is the review of that. It was a pretty good show. Of course. We've seen, of course, the first match, Darby Allin versus Pac. He finally beat him. Now they both 1-1. I think now too against each other in a sense as well. So we'll see if they have another match. Darby Allin, I thought once the chair came out and everything started happening, I thought he was gonna lose again. But he was able to do the coffin drop on the chair, hurting Pac ankle. So we'll see what happens and kind of continues to go with that. I don't know if his storyline is finished completely yet with the Death Riders, but I think it might be something left like that. It might be one last little thing to do, of course. But we'll see, of course, what happens. Also, in the tag team division, we've seen, of course, Jake Doyle and Mark Davis. They're a new tag team, Doyle and Davis, like that. And they look pretty good as a tag team too as well. They won the little four-way tag team title, tag team contenders match, and they became number one contenders against FTR, and they brawled off against them, of course, as well. FTR, they're champions right now, but like I mentioned many times before, FTR is better when they're when they're bad guy. When good guy champions. As bad guys, it works a little bit, but don't really work too much. I feel like as good guys, I feel like they can resonate more with the crowd and stuff like that. I feel like them as good guys, as champions, works a little better. But we'll see how things go. It should be a good match though between those two. I don't know when the match is going to happen. I don't know if it's going to happen like maybe at the pay-per-view. I think Revolution is like in March. The next pay-per-view is, well, actually, yeah, because they have Dynasty on Revolution. I don't know if they got one in February. I don't know if Dynasty's in February. I thought Dynasty's like it's somewhere else, but they have pay-per-views coming up. We'll see what happens, of course. But and they're supposed to do another Grand Slam stuff as well, like that. Supposed to do another Australia one, supposed to do one in Mexico again, of course. Some cool things. So we'll see how things kind of go. But overall, that was pretty good the way to start the show off a little bit. And then, of course, we've seen Hangman Page go against Bound and Keith. We also see Hangman Page later in the night. Jet Speed and Jet Speed in general. Mike Bailey and, of course, Kevin Knight. Both, they tag team group. They're going to team up with Hangman Adam Page, of course, for a trios match on Collision, which probably be filmed tonight. Most likely, then they probably release it on Saturday. But they're gonna be going against each other, of course, in a trios match, and that right there gonna be interesting. They're probably fighting the Ops. He's trying to take him and Paige. He's trying to take everything from the Ops. I thought maybe it'd be cool one day if you do a team like many people mentioned before. Him, Bandido, and Bound and Keith as like the Outlaws or something like that, or the Rangers or the Bandits or something like that. That'd be cool too. But him teaming up with Jet Speed is going to be interesting like that. I don't know what their tag team name is going to be. Hanging with Jet Speed or the Jet Speed Cowboys, or I don't know, Aerial Speed Cowboy. It'll be something. They figure something out. Those are some bad names, but they figure something out, of course. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens, of course, in that match. I think the title should change hand, most likely, but we'll see how things can continue, because Hangman Page, he's doing that right now, of course, taking things from the Ops. But we also got to worry about trying to stay in the compete in the race, of course, to be number one contender for the world title again. Swerve is in there running, Hangman as well. They've both been teaming up, working with each other, of course, a lot. And also Kenny Omega, he came out there to talk to both of them and saying that if I have to go through friend or foe, we'll see what happens like that. He said we'll see what we can go out there and what we got to do like that, because only one person can become world champion. So we'll see how Kenny Omega kind of built that up. He is going to fight Josh Alexander for the first time. Hoping happened in TNA like years ago. It was like, I remember it was like COVID time when Kenny Omega was the belt collector. We had all the TNA title, the TNA world title, and the Impact world title as well. And he beat was it Cedric Alexander? Was it Cedric Alexander? No, it was Rich Swann. Yeah, Rich Swann. I said Alexander. Rich Swann. He beat him for the title like that. So we thought that they probably have a match. They kept teasing every time, like Josh Alexander versus Kenny Omega, like that. That would have been very cool. But it didn't happen then. But luckily, it can happen now. So next week on Dynamite going to happen. I'm hoping they let them go out there and either start the show like 20+ minutes or end the show. So we'll see what kind of happens with them. We also seen the Babes of Wrath teaming up with Chris Statlander. I don't know if they call them the Cosmic Babes of Wrath or what they call them, as a whole trio versus the Triangle Madness. But Thekla pinned the world champion. You know what happened when you pin the world champion? When you pin the world champion, you should get an opportunity to compete against the world champion, because I beat you, I pinned you. So we'll see if they have an opportunity for that. And it might, since the Triangle Madness did win the match, we might see the Sisters of Sin get tag team opportunity as well to go against Willow and, of course, Harley Cameron. And then we'll see what happens, of course, with Thekla and Chris Statlander. That'd be a good match. That'd be a hard-hitting match. Kind of like Jimmy Hayter and Chris Statlander. That would be hard-hitting as well. Thekla has that strong style as well, too. So that'd be very interesting to see. But pretty good show overall like that. Then the main event was very good as well. Bandido versus MJF. I feel like they should run it back. It's not finished yet. I feel like they should do another match. as well like that, maybe later down the line a little bit, because I feel like there's more they could have gave us. They gave us a great match, of course, a good match, of course, on TV and stuff. But I feel like it could be more. There's more meat in the bone like that too as well. So I think they can definitely continue it. We know after the match, I knew it was too good to be true. MJF giving props, and then he attacked Bandido after the match, of course, as well. Like he's saying, "Hey, you're gonna be world champion one day, and I feel like you could have beat me. So let me make sure that don't happen. But I'm gonna try to beat you up after this match and injure you." Brody King came out there. We might see Brody King versus MJF. Might mix it up like that, or you might see Bandido versus MJF again, and some other things like that. Maybe linger on like that fully, and then you'll probably see maybe King Omega, Swerve, Hangman, one of those guys inching up, getting closer to MJF to try to take him down. So we'll see what happens, of course, when it continues to go on. But overall, pretty good show. I know on Collision, I think they had a video with the Athena. Oh, not Athena. I mean, Mercedes Moné. Mercedes Moné is going to be away for a little while like that. I think she will come back as a different individual like that, at the embarrassing moments and stuff that happened to her. But we'll have to wait and see fully what goes on. But that's all I have to say this video. Hope you guys enjoy. If you did, like, subscribe for more content. I'll see you guys next time on the channel. Peace out.